Welcome back to another video. I'm Akhil. I'm a real estate agent in the Los Angeles area, and these videos are documenting my journey towards finding the meaning and understanding the nature of the universe. My current objective is to accomplish your real estate goals in the most effective and efficient way possible. Last video, I went on an entire tangent about these two things. So if you're new, just go back to the last video. I went on like an entire 5-minute tangent for no apparent reason. And yeah, so what are we going to be talking about today? Well, I got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. It's actually been a pretty eventful past couple weeks. I'm in escrow for a buyer, which is cool. I just closed a couple leases. Those leases that were taking forever, closed them, both of them. So that was cool. And I stopped doing ads and cold emails. I've been cold calling and still doing it. I'm going to Japan. And yeah, overall life's pretty great. So, oh my God, my throat's like totally messed up, obviously, because I have no idea. But we're going to get on with the video. So, on with the video and on with the video. All right. So, now, first things first, let's talk about the accepted offer. So, or the escrow I'm in. So, I've been helping this client for a little while. Surprisingly enough, I met this one also at an open house, like the last one. The last buyer. I closed a deal about a year ago. That was with the buyer I met at open house. This one was also a buyer that I met at open house. This one, the price range is about half of last time. Last time it was around 1.3. This time it's around like 740. So, and I'm helping this buyer with a townhouse actually. So it's a townhouse in Northridge. It's a pretty nice place, cool townhouse complex. So yeah, I met this buyer at an open house a very long time ago, maybe like 6-7 months ago. They were having a baby. They had a baby recently. She was like in labor or whatever. And yeah, they were looking at the time. We made an offer to a different place. That one didn't get accepted. They chose a different offer that was higher. A few months went by. I think they had the baby basically, so we wanted to take a break for a little while. And then they started looking again. And then they found a place they liked. I helped them make an offer. It got accepted. Funny story is with this offer. Buyer was actually initially, they made an offer, they countered back best and final. There was 3 offers, I think, or 4 or something. And then my buyer was like kind of like iffy on it was like contingent on the seller finding a place. And then my buyer was like, I'm not sure if I really want that. So my buyer took an extra day to decide. In that time, they chose a different offer. We came actually back with a higher offer, but they already chose somebody. But then the same day, that person backed out. So funny. They just like backed out and then we got accepted. So pretty random, but it worked out. And then we just did all the inspections. It went pretty well. I actually just sent out a repair request to the listing agent or the seller. And then we'll see what they get back with. Inspection contingency should end today. And yeah, I mean, there's no appraisal or loan because it's all cash. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, if we can get through inspections and they are agreeing to the repair request, then we should probably close probably in the next 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, aside from that, I just closed those. I closed, not just, actually, it was like about a week ago now, but I closed those 2 leases basically pretty much at the same time. The one on Wawona, which is in Glendale, I closed that one and obviously double-ended it. And then this other one in Sherman Oaks that I just recently listed. It was gone within the first showing, so it was kind of funny. I expected, because there's a kind of like a specific requirement. The seller only wanted a 12-month lease and it had to be furnished. I thought it was going to take like at least a couple weeks to find a person who was okay with all that. But it looks like that area was like crazy hot, and we listed it at a price that was really, really good, $6,850 for that area for a nice house with a yard and everything, private house. It was flying. So I got like 1 million responses. Since it was owner-occupied, I was only actually able to do 1 showing, and I showed 1 party, and that party loved it and applied, and they were qualified and everything went well. So within the first showing, we leased it, and the first showing was like 2 days after I listed it. So yeah, I guess that was cool. And then I listed, yeah, we leased it, and that was all good. Aside from that, I did those leases and everything. I stopped doing the ads and the cold emails. So the reason I stopped doing the ads is because I honestly, like cash-wise, It's just like I spent about maybe a couple thousand now, maybe like 1,500. I know it's not a lot. I'll probably restart doing the ads later, but at this current point, I'm going to stop the ads. I haven't seen any success at all from it. Actually, funny enough, one of the guys who reached out, who actually responded to the ad, who was an owner, he was trying to rent his like 1-bedroom ADU. So, and it was like a $1,500 rental. And I honestly just told him, hey, just list it yourself. You're not going to get any benefit from an agent for a $1,500 rental. It's just, if you already live on the main property, it takes 10 seconds for you to show it. Just take you can literally take cell phone pictures because it's a $1,500 rental. You don't have to go crazy. You just take cell phone pictures, put it up on the market, on Zillow, and then you just show it whenever somebody reaches out. And you literally live there, so it's not hard to show it. Just like whenever you're there, okay, yeah, come by and I'll show you. And then that's really it. So there's no value add for an agent. But yeah, that was the only person that he actually even turned out into anything out of that $1,500 or whatever I spent. I know that's not a lot, so I need to probably, I don't know. The ads thing I need to figure out, like if I want to continue doing it or what I should be doing. Because I know the cold calling works, and honestly, I've been not able to even cold call all the leads because I've been like running around with these leases. And every time, this is what happens. Like I'll cold call, I'll get leads like those leases, and then I'll service the leases. And then in that time frame, there's like a bunch of new leads I'm not able to call. So then I have to, once those are done, then I call more. And it's like impossible to do both at the same time because it always takes so long for me to service the leads. And then calling also obviously takes like 2 hours. So maybe I have to be more efficient or something. I don't know. I have to figure something out. But yeah, I'm doing it less, but I'm still doing it. Like at least if I normally do it 4 times a week, now I'm at least doing it 2 times a week, which it's obviously it sounds like, okay, you're cutting your volume in half. And yeah, it is. But I'm also like having other shit to deal with. Like I have to go to inspections for this. I have to do stuff for my leases. I have to fill out the lease paperwork. I have to do disclosures for this. I have to do repair requests for this. There's a bunch of dumb shit that obviously comes with, it's not dumb. It's like, it's just a part of the process that you have to do for, when you're dealing with deals on the back end. But that's just what it is. So yeah, in terms of the cold emails, the reason I stopped that is because my account got blocked. I was doing cold emails with my Compass account, and then it got blocked one night, and then I couldn't receive any emails. It was such a pain in the ass because it was actually like, that was the night that I was sending out an application for somebody, and then they sent it to me, and then I didn't get it or something like that. And then the landlord was trying to send me stuff. I wasn't receiving mail. It was super annoying. And then they fixed that part. And then for whatever reason, for the next like week, I wasn't getting any Compass emails. So all of my saved searches that would normally alert me when a new, like a new place came out for a person that's looking, like I have a couple renters looking and a buyer that's looking. So normally I get like emails, right? That like, okay, here's a new property that could work. Obviously I set up the range, and I wasn't getting that for like a week. So it was super duper annoying. And then I have to contact some Compass support, and I go through this entire like dumb shit because I was cold emailing. So if I do cold emails again, I'm going to make sure to do it on a specific, I'm going to use it on an account that I don't ever use the email. I have like 3, not Compass, but 3 real estate accounts. I have my Compass one, a personal one, and then another personal one that I created, but I just never ended up using. So that one I'll probably just use for only that one for emails. And that way, even if it gets blocked or, gets stopped, it doesn't even matter because I never use that account anyway to begin with. So that I need to do if I'm choosing to do cold emails. But yeah, again, it's just like the time thing. I start all these things, and then it's like, okay, I started this, but do I even have the time to continue it? And the answer is no. And it's just kind of like one of those things that it's like, okay, I don't see immediate success, obviously, and I know I could probably make it work, but how effective and efficient will it be if it works? I don't know. And I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of questions, and the only way to answer those questions is just to keep going. But I don't have the time to keep going, so I guess I should have just listened to Alex Hormozy to begin with and just stick to one thing. Anyway, other than that, obviously I did speak about the fact that I'm going on a trip. So yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm going on a trip. Your favorite rocket ship. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going on a trip to Japan. It'll be a 10-day trip. It's going to happen in like what? I think today's the 3rd of June. I'm going to leave on the 5th. So yeah, it's going to happen in like 2 days basically. And you might be like, what the hell? How'd this happen so quickly? Well, basically my dad's company is closing down. So he's going to have like an interim period where he's probably like just like not going to have like work. So he has like time that normally obviously he'd have to take off and it'd be like a whole thing. But now he's like, my sister's just got on summer because school ended, and then my dad is obviously off of his work. So it's like a decent time for just a quick trip. And I don't particularly care either way, obviously, but vacations. But I mean, I guess it's cool. I mean, in like 15 years, am I going to really think back, okay, for those 10 days, is 10 days of like that, you know, moderate working going to really make that much of a difference compared to just like, okay, it's a good memory for a trip? The answer is like, I'd probably regret it less if I just went on the trip. Obviously, if you make that like a consistent habit where you like consistently take off tons of time from work, then that's not a good thing. But I don't do that. I work pretty much every weekend, so 10 days in the middle of summer when I don't have anything going on except, obviously, the deal is going on, but I don't need to be there because once the inspection ends, it's just waiting to close. That's it. So we might close right when I come back. So I don't need to do anything except sign the disclosures, send out some papers, figure out the paperwork with them, see the CCNRs or whatever, and then just review it. And then that's it. It's all stuff I can do on the computer, like in an hour. So it's not complicated. As for the other stuff, like the lease is already closed, so the person just needs to move in. Yeah, there's nothing really else that I need to, like that is going on specifically. That like luckily kind of just happened that I closed everything already, and then I'm going on a trip. But it doesn't really matter either way. I always have people that I can help. I can pay to show the place, or you know, I can ask for help from a couple agent friends. They can help me out. So it's not a big deal. But either way, yeah, it's coming up in 10 days, or 10 days, 2 days. And I'll be there. I'll be gone for 10 days, and that'll be that. And yeah, there's not much else to say about that, other than Japan's very like, I don't know, like if you just look on a map, it's like Tokyo. I mean, Tokyo's a freaking complicated city. It's like, I don't know. I don't like planning stuff, but it's like so annoying. Like, you know, it's like there's like disbenefits and advantages to having like a car-based society, right? The disadvantages are you're pretty much forced to have a car. Like in Los Angeles, for example. Los Angeles is the perfect example of a city. If you don't have a car, you're basically fucked. Like as in like there's nowhere you can do, there's nothing you can do, there's nowhere you can really live. Even if you live in downtown, you still need a car because downtown is shit and you need to go and you need to like buy shit or do whatever the hell you need to do. You still need a car because public transportation is ass. There's like 2 public transportation lines and they're ass. There's homeless people on them. You never want to go there. You steer clear from anything with public transportation unless you're on like food stamps and you really need it. Other than that, if you can afford a car, everyone has a car. And pretty much everyone can afford a car because there are always like $500, $1,000 cars that barely work that people still use. But anyway, Los Angeles is the perfect example of one of those cities where there's no public transport, so you're forced to use a car for basically everything. Tokyo is going to be like the exact opposite. And, you know, that's great that you're able to like live life without a car. And obviously it's way more efficient for a city to not have cars. But the problem is it's like complicated for a foreigner to come in and like figure it out. You know, there's like train lines. You know, it's super easy for like a foreigner to come in, they just rent a car and then get anywhere in the entire city, right? But for a train, you have to like think about it. You have to actually kind of think about it. Like, okay, it's like you probably want to be near a train station if you're gonna. I mean, obviously Tokyo has train stations all over, so it's not a big deal. But it's just annoying because like it's all gonna be in like it's gonna be complicated compared to a car. A car you just switch on, put the GPS, go. You know, a train you have to like kind of figure out. Okay, I gotta go from here, this train station. I gotta walk this way. You're gonna obviously my direction skills are like, unfortunately, that's not my strong suit, right? I still use a GPS for places that I've been 100 times. That's like it's like you know. It's just like not my natural skill set. I know some people like they go there once, they know the entire place. For me, I'll like go there like 50 times and I'll still manage to take a wrong turn with the GPS. So I already know I'm gonna be getting lost. We're gonna be getting lost like crazy. And yeah. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's just that's the only thing it's like if you look at the city on the map, it just looks complicated. You know, it's like it just looks complicated, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway. Maybe that's because I just haven't even like really thought about it at all. But anyway, other than that, let's go to the next subject. We talked about buyer, talked about cold calling, leases, Japan trip, ads and cold emails, open houses, still holding them. I didn't hold them last week because I couldn't find a good one. Week before that I held, you know, a night one. And that's about that. And then I wanted to talk about some realizations I had over the last couple weeks. You know, for whatever reason, every week I have like some type of realization or something. I don't know. But anyway, one of the major realizations the last couple weeks, there was Memorial Day. I think it was May. I forgot what date Memorial Day was. I think it was like 24th or 25th, something like that. Yeah, I think 25th, May 26th. Anyway, on Memorial Day, Andy Frisella made a post on his story. Okay. And then I don't normally like really spend time on Instagram, but I always read Andy Frisella's post and his stories. because Andy Frisell is the GOAT. But anyway, right. So he made a post about, really like the perspective that he made was like how many people paid the ultimate sacrifice for you to have freedom, right? Whatever country you're in, especially America. Really, this is like obviously based on America, but a lot of people died, right? And bled out and died in a battlefield. And they paid the ultimate sacrifice so that you could have freedom. Whether you consider it in the Civil War, right? The American Revolutionary War against the British back in like 76, back in that day. Well, it was before that, but whatever. Back in those, 1770, that time frame, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, 1850s, that time. World War I, World War II. Obviously, there's like 500,000 Americans that died in World War II. So all these people paid the ultimate sacrifice for you to be here, to have the opportunity to live in freedom, right? So it's your obligation to live it in your best way, in their best life, right? It's your obligation to be as good as you possibly can. It's your obligation to do as much as you possibly can. It's your obligation not to be perfect, but to try your absolute best in everything you do, right? You can't, like think about it, like, what kind of example are you setting to the people around you? And to, like, imagine those people who died are watching your life. If they're watching your life in disgust, like, you're not doing right. Like, as in, like, if you're given freedom, you may as well make the best of it and make the use of it and actually, like, value what they fought for, and then, like, do your best to, like, okay, benefit the community, do your best to actually do what you accomplish your goals in the most effective and efficient way possible. And also, he also made a post about mental frames and mental limits. And it's actually really true. It's like you have your own mental limits that, like, it's almost like it's like a construction of your brain that makes it so that there's some sort of excuse, if that makes sense. So it's like your brain will construct a reason to give you an excuse so that you can fail. And it's like, it's not my fault. It's the failure. It's like, even though if you like consciously look at it, it'll try to craft that stuff to make it so you can be lazy and, be not as productive or not do your best work. Right, it'll make up reasons so that you can fail or like slip up or not build good habits or whatever it is. It'll make you fail. It'll make you think like, oh, like I don't know. Let's just say eating cake. Like if their cake is right in front of you and you know you're not supposed to eat it, your brain will come up with all these reasons like you need to eat the cake. It's inevitable that you're gonna eat the cake. You blah 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 blah. And eventually, if you sit down in that same loop, you're gonna end up eating the cake. Obviously, that's just natural. It's like whatever you think about that's in the forefront of your mind is likely to happen. So he made a post about how these limits are just mental barriers, and you actually should just reframe the way you think to begin with, right? It's like cake is not. It's just the cake just exists, but this is just an item that is going to take me off my goal, right? It's not something to be desired. And then Naval always says the easiest way, right, to get what you want is just to not want that thing, right? It's as in like. Obviously, you're going to have wants and desires in life, but the more things you desire, the more things that you're just going to need to accumulate and accumulate. And at the end of the day, the easiest way to fulfill a desire is just not desire it at all, right? It's just as good, right? You can either, really want the Gucci bag and then buy the Gucci bag, or obviously I don't particularly care about it, or you can be like that and you're just like, okay, I don't even care about the bag. Who cares? It's just as good to just not care about it and move on, right? It's the same thing. You can either buy it and then have it and be like, I have it now. I'm so satisfied. Or you just not want it in the first place and then be just as satisfied, right? Because it's like, it's one of those things where especially for like wants and desires, because that's really, I found, like desires are what really take you off of your goal and your path, right? It's like you desire to do something like short term, but that's not actually relevant to your long-term goals. And then you compromise your time for working, you compromise your productivity to do the short-term thing that is going to give you, that's going to fulfill your desire. But in reality, if you just don't desire it in the first place, that's the solution. That's just as good. All right. So yeah, and then another thing that was really cool that I got, I don't know. I've been watching, okay, let's just preface it with this. I've been watching really less and less YouTube podcasts. Just overall, I still watch, obviously, podcasts and stuff. But my consumption time has gone down, and I've been spending more time just not, mindlessly consuming random shit. And I was never consuming, like, bad content or anything. Like, as in, like, I was never consuming, like, entertainment that much. it was always like just random podcasts. But I've even started cutting that down just because it's like so much of random shit that I just don't care about. Like a lot of it was political content, and it's just like I don't really particularly care, honestly. It's like most of the shit doesn't even matter. Anyway, so I was listening to this one interview, and I thought this one thing that he said was really good. It was actually Tate, but I thought this one thing that he said was really, really good, and that is like you could think of every single day or like your life as like a ship sailing in the sea, right? And some days are gonna be stormy days, right? And some days are gonna be like a fucking typhoon. You're gonna be like you feel like you're sinking, or sometimes you actually will sink, right? There's some of those days, and some days are gonna be nice and sunny. The only time in general, there's no benefit to being that person on the ship. There's always a benefit just to take a step back, kind of analyze it from a 1,000-foot view. Like, okay, today is one of those days. It's a shitty day. All right. It's a shitty day. I'm going to do the right thing, move on. And today is one of those days that I feel like shit. All right. It's a stormy day. That's it. The only problem, because the reason is if you take a step back, and even on the sunny days, you take a step back, if you're not so like in the emotion and then like, today's a shitty day. This happened, that happened. Because if you're in that mindset, you're just more likely to make a mistake and make it worse, right? It's like if it's a stormy day and you're really focused on the storm and you're like, there's a storm. I got to do this. I got to do that. We're so screwed. There's nothing we can do. Then it's inevitable that you're going to make a shitty decision and the ship is going to crash, right? On that day, it's going to make it even worse. But if you take a step back, okay, this is one of those stormy days. You just got to do this. I'm still going to do the same things that are always good. I'm still going to, make sure that the engine is working. I'm still going to, lubricate the rotary shafts or whatever. I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do that. We're going to make sure we're going to do everything we possibly can. And even though it's a stormy day, we're going to do everything we can to face it head on and move forward. And if you can only really get into that position if you take a step back and you're like, okay, it's one of those days. And it's the same thing. Even if it's a happy day, you're going to have to take a step back and like, okay, it's a happy day, but I still got to do this. You got to move forward, right? No matter what day, if it's a good or bad or whatever external circumstances is, you always have to maintain that, okay, we're going to take a step back. We're not going to get into the weeds and into these emotions, because the moment you get caught up in emotion and whatever it is the moment you start making mistakes. So I thought that was a really good analogy to you always just have to take a step back. Okay, I'm feeling like this is just a day. Okay, I'm feeling depressed or I'm feeling like this today. It's just one of those days. All right. Move forward. I'm still going to do whatever I need to do. I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to let these emotions change my decisions of the day, right? Because that's, at the end of the day, what your short-term emotions, if they dictate your actions on a long-term basis, that's the recipe for destruction, right? Because you're always going to feel like some emotion. Some days you're going to feel happy. Obviously, that's great. But some days you're going to feel like shit. Some days you're going to feel tired or this or that or this or that. There's obviously the fucking range of emotions. But if you give into all of those emotions all the time, okay, I'm tired today, so I'm just not going to do this. Then you're never going to get to where you want to go, right? If it's a cloudy day, it's a cloudy day. It's just, what the fuck, who cares? I'm still going to go out. I'm still going to do what I need to do. And as in cloudy day in the sense that, like, as in an analogy, if I'm going through, like, I don't know, if I lost a shit ton of money or whatever it is, it's still another day. I just got to go push forward. It doesn't matter how you feel, And I guess it's just a meta concept of, regardless of what you think or feel, you always do the right thing. That is based on principle. But it's a lot easier if you just take a step back, right? It's a lot easier if, you're not so invested in the emotion. Because there's a lot of people, and you see this in your daily life, if you feel overly happy when it's a good day, then that means by extension, you're going to feel overly sad when it's a bad day. Because look, there's only one thing guaranteed in life, and that is that you're going to have pain, right? People are going to die. Bad shit's going to happen. You're going to make stupid decisions based on emotion. That shit's going to happen, obviously, by definition. All you can do is control your actions, right? And a lot of these problems are solved by just taking a step back. The last one, you're going to make stupid decisions. A lot of that can be solved by, taking a step back, making the most logical decision. You are still going to make mistakes, but if you take a step back and you're not so thinking about emotion, you're most likely to make a way better choice. Most likely, 99% of the time. Actually, you will make a better choice, always. So, for pretty much every problem, because look, pain in life is guaranteed. People are going to die. Things are going to happen. Car crashes are going to happen. You're going to lose shit. That's going to happen. But if you're so invested in that emotion, right? If you're up when it's up and you're down when it's down, you're going to kill yourself because times are going to be really shitty, right? And if you just take a step back, that's the easiest way. It's like, okay, it's a good day today. Take a step back though. we got to still do this. You got to still do this. Got to keep moving. It's life, you know? So I think you just always have to take a step back and just look at it for what it is. You can't ever be too invested. Because again, if you're too invested in the happiness, you're gonna be feeling like shit when it's on the down cycle. And if you're feeling like shit in the down cycle and you allow that to rule your mind and your actions, it's a recipe for destruction. So yeah, and that's pretty much, I think, the main revelations. You know, you gotta choose the way you think. A lot of the things that your brain says are kind of distortions of reality to get you to kind of give into emotion. A lot of the emotions are just instincts, right? And you have a logic. There's a reason that you have a logical side, but you know, you have a logical part of your brain and an emotional part of your brain. The emotional part of your brain doesn't understand. Sorry. So yeah, as I was saying, kind of your brain, your kind of emotional side obviously wants you to like eat the cake off. Like let's assume like cake, right? It thinks like, okay, the more cake we eat, its base instinct is to eat more of that because it can store the fat. It's more likely for you to, you know, gain those calories so you can store it as fat. But obviously, logically, if you continually eat cake, which is what your, you know, kind of like instincts or base emotions are telling you to do, you're going to end up like a fat ass. So at the end of the day, and the same thing for anything, you know, like your base instincts will tell you to get angry when somebody hits you, or get lustful when there's a woman in front of you, or whatever it is. But those are just base instincts, right? Your logical brain is what actually controls everything. Otherwise, what separates you from an animal? So, I mean, I think everything in life comes from just controlling those base instincts and operating on as much logic as possible. And that's just, I guess, the way of life. And I think, I mean, I've been contemplating this, but I think at some point, I mean, I don't really know anything about AI, but I think at some point the easiest solution, because I think AI at its fundamental base level is more of like just a logical computation engine that synthesizes a lot of data, right? But it's not really good at creating any new ideas or anything. But a human, if they had even like, you know, 100th or 1,000,000th of the amount of data that ChatGPT had, would be able to, in their head, would be able to come up with thousands of new ideas, new companies and stuff like that. So I think that the logical extent is, if you want to progress the human race, AI is a great tool, but I don't think it's going to change anything about the human race. I think the human race itself will just change itself. Like, you'll just stop the limitations. I mean, it's not against the laws of physics to just stop the limitations of a human brain, right? Like, if you can solve sleep, if you can, like, by transferring the human brain into a machine of some sort, if you can amplify the amount of information that a human brain can process at a single period of time, if you can amplify, the amount of time you can process consistently for, you know, by eliminating, like, downtime. And you can also eliminate, like, because, like, the main thing that slows down a human is you have to eat, sleep, take a shit, you have to do all these things. And you only have such a finite amount of time to really think and do things. If you could remove all of that and just kind of the brain, and then amplify that with additional information and data that it can pull from, and then increase the bit rate, then you basically have the thing that can take over the world, because it's a human. But if everybody's like that, then think about how much further the human race could be. You know, you could have innovations of all kinds of sorts, and you could scale the human race by a factor of like 100x. And if you can also, another thing that's shitty about humans is the fact that it takes 9 months for a human to just be a baby, right? Like, if a woman's pregnant, it takes 9 months just for a baby, and then another 20 years before that human's even competent and capable of anything useful, which is like a really long cycle time. If you could shorten down that cycle time to a few minutes, for example, then you could scale the human race to galaxies and galaxies and galaxies. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm looking forward to. So right now I'm looking forward to making more deals in real estate. What I'm also looking forward to is doing ideally more deals, more cold calling, more open houses. I already know the open houses are really good, but, you know, keep doing them and building out the CRM more. I'm gonna get in some more referrals and stuff, so that's good. And ideally, you know, I'll solve some bigger problems too, maybe in the next few years, as in like start a different type of thing. I don't know, we'll see. And then also just kind of another main focus is just to, you know, stay disciplined, get out of your own way, get better every single day, get out of my own way, right? As in like be more focused, be more logical, build, I'm pretty good at building habits now. And some of the major habits that I fixed are like not really, I mean, I'm not really, using any social media. I never use TikTok ever. Instagram, basically never, except to read Andy Frisella and Alex Hormozy. But I deleted Instagram yesterday because I noticed I'm like kind of spending a little extra long on there. It went from like a couple minutes to like 5 minutes a day. I was like, no way. No. I can see this trend is getting worse. YouTube's the only thing I spend like a couple hours, but that's mainly just during like driving or walking or eating. I listen to like a podcast or something. I never use LinkedIn, never use Facebook. So yeah, that's a good habit. The main one I need to work on is fucking waking up on time and like going to bed on time. Because this is what happens every single night. I'm like, but I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And then it's like ends up being like midnight. And then the next day, I can't wake up early, obviously. If you go to bed at midnight, how do you expect to wake up early? So I need to fix that. And I mean, other major habits, I work out every day. My diet's pretty good. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, habits are pretty good. I just need to get a little bit better, more focused. Mentally, obviously, like, thoughts-wise, always got to keep myself aligned thoughts-wise. And yeah, that's it. All right. I think there's not much else that's going on. So the next video will probably be after I come back from the trip. Probably 2 weeks after I come back from the trip, because after I come back from the trip, there's not really much to talk about. I just went on a trip. There's no new real estate stuff going on, other than maybe I'm closing that one escrow. But I mean, that's not even that big of a deal. It's like, if it closes, which probably will, but if it closes, then that's the only thing that's going to be new. There's not really much going to be to talk about. So it'll probably be like, the next video is probably going to be in like a month and a half, or maybe a month, because I'm going on a trip, and then another 2 to 3 weeks. So like, I can give you a nice update of what's actually going on. So yeah, other than that, not much going on right now, but yeah, I'm still going to be cold calling until the day I leave. I'm still going to be, I can't hold any open houses because I leave on Thursday, I think. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, I leave Thursday, which is tomorrow's my last full day here. Thursday, I'm leaving in the morning. So I leave at like, the flights, I don't even remember. I think maybe like 7, 8. No, I have to leave at 7. I don't remember. The flight's in the morning. So, and then, yeah, so basically tomorrow's like the actual last full day. I'll be cold calling today. I'll be cold calling. I don't think I'll be cold calling tomorrow. Maybe. But I'm definitely going to be cold calling today. I'm probably going to be doing circle backs and follow-ups tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow, yeah. That's probably what's going to happen. And I have I need to edit this video, which is, I have to do it pretty quickly because I need to post it by tomorrow. I don't have time to post it on Thursday. So I'm probably going to edit this video today or tomorrow. I need to send out a bunch of disclosures that I needed today. Like 50 disclosures that I have to go through. I haven't done anything regarding the disclosures, so I need to send those out immediately as soon as possible. That's about it. So yeah, obviously I have other shit, but I just can't remember. I think I have to do like some like cold calling stuff, like the metrics. I definitely need to do some like normal follow-ups, not just cold calling follow-ups. I need to just set everything up so that's it. I don't know if I'm going to do an autoresponder. I'll still respond to emails. The time difference is like 10 hours, but I can still, it's not like I can't respond to emails if I'm sitting down in a train or in a car. I can just quickly fire off a couple emails and texts. Not a big deal. Other than that, I don't think there's anything I really need to specifically do. I need to make a few posts. That's what I need to do. But anyway, yeah, I have a bunch of shit to do always. And yeah, I'm going to do that shit and we'll get the shit done. You got to push forward too. You got to do something. You got to improve every single day. You got to find the meaning too in your own way. Or I don't know, do something that's worth it with your life. And that's it. So yeah, onward to the meaning, understand the nature of the universe, accomplish your real estate goals in the most effective, efficient way possible. If you're looking to buy a house in Los Angeles, by the time you watch this video, in the next 17 years, because it's only going to get popular when I'm a billionaire. When I'm a billionaire, if you're interested in real estate, you probably shouldn't reach out to me because I'm going to be a billionaire at that time, and I'm not going to be doing real estate. But I don't know why I wanted to say that, but that's the truth. So, onward, and that's it.